Well, uh, what's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Let's see here. There is a full moon. You can't really see it because it's like just a little dot up there in the sky at the moment, but that is a full moon. And I haven't gotten the fire started yet, but I'm about to get something going here. See if I can get something going. And for anybody that might be interested, it a little bit had her puppies last night, and she's got them hiding underneath the house. Let's see here. How get that going. What's up, Lauren? What's up, Snook?
Happy full moon night.
Yep.
I'm glad
Remember the 5th of November.
No, I don't know what the 5th of November is for. I don't remember it.
Oh. Well, it's the 5th of November. Let's see here. What was it? No, it's the gunpowder treason and plot.
Was that over in England?
Oh yeah, where somebody was going to blow up Parliament with all the government in it.
V for Vendetta.
Yeah, well, yeah, Guy Fawkes. Yeah, Guy Fawkes.
Oh, Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah, Guy Fawkes Day. Yep. I celebrate his attempt, not necessarily the failure.
You celebrated on the 10th?
No, I celebrate the attempt, not the failure.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
But when was this? When did this happen? What year?
I think it was like 400 years ago or something shit like that.
Oh, God, that was a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they still have a Guy Fawkes every year, and they burn an effigy of him every year on the 5th of November.
I do remember that part.
Yeah.
Hello, chat. Do you want to know a funny story to lead off your night?
What's up?
Well, I love the full moon. And so for a long time, I used to go out in the driveway and howl at the full moon. I mean, full out howl like a wolf. And then I would turn around and I would semi-flash the moon.
Right on.
It was fun. It was like, it's like when you howl at the moon, it just frees something in you.
Yeah, and it's I think it's supposed to be the fullest or the biggest full moon or something like that of the year or something like that. This right now.
Well, I'll go out later on tonight and look.
Yeah, it's pretty damn bright out here. It's almost like daytime out here almost.
You haven't been on in a while. I thought maybe something was wrong with you. I'm glad you're okay.
I've got nothing to say. If I ain't got nothing to say, I'm not going to fucking get on because I mean, otherwise it's boring. It's just sitting here. I mean, I don't get enough people on the stream to actually have like a back and forth conversation or whatever. So
you with nothing to say?
Yeah. 'Cause honestly, like there's some things that feels like I repeat myself, so I don't like sounding like a broken record. Yeah,
Oh, I don't think you do. If you do, it comes out different every time,
I guess. I don't
if that makes sense. Well, I came very close to almost semi-missing you.
know.
You know I have to be a wise ass. Hello, United Houses of Polaris.
That's polar
So what's
polar.
the, weather like by you? What's the temperature?
It's not very cold out. It's humid. I had dew all over my chair when I came out here. Um, but other than that, and quite honestly, now that I got the fire going up pretty good, it's getting kind of warm.
Oh, well, back off from the fire.
I am. I'm backing up.
I'm just used to telling people what to do. I can't help it. It's the bossy in me.
Plus, I got a big old freaking log in there. I was doing some yard work yesterday. And I got a big chunk of log in there right now from when I was doing all that shit.
Oh God,
Probably,
fires.
probably most of it. Yeah. Oh, a little bit. Gave birth to her puppies last night.
Your dog had babies again?
No, little bit did. Not big
Oh
girl.
my God.
Yeah. Yep. Dumbass.
I'm sorry, I'm typing something. I'm getting distracted. Keep on talking. I'll be with you in a second. I'm just being very rude.
No, yeah. I don't know who knocked her up, and it would suck really bad if it was her father that knocked her up, but that's probably what happened.
Ah, that's the dog next door.
Yeah, my cousin's dog. Yeah, next door.
Huh.
That's who's knocked up Big Girl 3 times,
Oh,
and
wait a minute. He's related to her? Is that her daddy?
well, that would be Little Bit's dad. Yeah, if that's the one that knocked her up. I don't know.
Don't you ever have any free clinics there that will do neutering and stuff? Spain?
I haven't seen anything like that. And right now, like when it comes down to it, everything that I've found, it costs you money. And technically, here in Florida, they have it's a law. If I wanted to get them done, I'd have to get them rabies shots too, so that costs money, which I don't have. So
Oh, I had a cat and well, in fact, I had a cat that lived a long time, had another cat that lived a long time, and they were together. And I just quit giving them rabies shots because they were indoor cats, and I just wasn't going to pay for it.
yeah, I'm not gonna pay for it either. I've had dogs all my life, and I've never done any of that shit. I've never done it.
Have any of them ever gotten the rabies?
Nope, nope. All my pets that I've had cats, dogs, and stuff like that. That none of them have ever gotten rabies or sick or any of that shit. Maybe a little bit at the beginning, when they're first born and stuff. Maybe give them a little bit of medicine for worms, but other than that, I've never done anything else.
I've never, this is like so non-political, but it's kind of fun to just talk normal. Um, yeah, my last cat, Snookums, she was 19 when she passed away. She was ready to go. It was a very gentle passing in my arms, which thank God it was. Um, but you know what? I only took her to the vet. Well, I took her to the vet when she was young and got her shots because I adopted her from the animal shelter. Um, but anyway, and they pay for all that, and I got her fixed. But during her 19 years, she only got sick one time, and it was a stomach thing. I took her to an emergency vet, and she was okay in a couple days. Never got her rabies shots after she was young.
Right?
And female cats tend to have urinary tract problems. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
They do, not male
Mm,
ones.
yeah.
But she never had that issue. I've had cats that did, and she just God, she was you know why she was so healthy? She was mean as hell.
Right.
Maybe that's why I'm healthy.
I'd like to have a cat out here, but my dogs won't let me have one.
No.
I mean, it'd be nice to have one out here that would roam around and take care of the rats and mice and stuff.
Yeah, you're too busy having all the dogs.
Gen X Gemini.
God.
Good to see you.
How old is Little Bit now? She's only a couple years, isn't she?
I don't think she's 2 years old yet. Honestly, I think she's only about a year old, something like that. I can't remember when she was born right offhand. I'd have to
Sh
go back and look in my videos and stuff because I took a video when she was a baby.
I remember that. I remember when weren't they born when you had the camper?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember them being born on that you had some kind of a tarp down. I remember that night, them being born and you stepping over them and just
Oh
like,
no,
"You're so
that
calm."
one when
No,
they
that
were
was
born in the one when they were born inside, that was
mhm.
actually Big Girl.
No, I
That's her
know.
mother.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
It was Big Girl.
Yeah, well, little bit, they were born outside. But
Okay.
I built like a little pin for
Mhm.
them to go in when it got cold or whatever. And and Big Girl decided to use that to give birth in. Um, and so that was, when I was still living in that camper and stuff. But so I don't know. It's been about a year or so. So she's
Mhm.
only about a year old, something like that. My gosh, this fucking fire's getting big.
I just have such fond memories of those puppies being born in your camper and how you stepped over them because 'cause you're tall and you kept stepping back and forth, and you're so calm, and I'm in the chat freaking out.
Yeah, well, that was the only time that I was like, I'm not doing that again.
No, I know you
Um,
won't.
yeah, but all my dogs that I've had out here since was it well, I got Jazz, which is the mother of all of them. I got Jazz back when all the lockdown and the shit in the arm stuff started,
Mhm.
and then um, that's Big Girl's mama, and
Mhm.
I don't have Jazz anymore, but um, yeah, and Big Girl, she's gotten pregnant 3 times.
God, I thought it was more than that. How old is she?
Um, well, like I said, he was born uh, probably about 3 years ago, something like that. 3 years ago, something like that.
Wait a minute. What's the
Something like
one
that.
who is Little Bit's mother?
That's Big Girl.
Okay, Big Girl's only that is that young?
Yeah, because Jazz. Okay, the one where you saw them, where the dog that gave birth inside, that was
Yeah.
Jazz. That was Jazz.
Oh.
That's Big Girl's mama.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
yeah,
that. I thought
yeah,
Big Girl was just giving birth every single year and she was older.
no,
Okay, what
no.
happened to Jazz?
She had moved on. Well, I mean,
Okay,
not she was not dead, but I mean, she moved on to a different place.
okay.
But
Well, I'm
because I was
glad
like,
she didn't die.
no, she just, I just had to, I, you know,
It's
I had to
okay.
find a different place to go.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry if I got too personal.
Well, no, I mean, actually, I mean, I almost did the same thing to Big Girl, but I just, but she's
You're really
staying here.
you take really good care of your dogs, and I see how you are with the puppies, and it's almost I feel like it almost breaks your heart to give any of them away.
I mean, honestly, if I could afford to keep everyone, I would keep them.
I know you
Um,
would.
because I wouldn't care if I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind having a whole pack of dogs out here. I wouldn't mind. The only thing is, it's like, I, having a pack of dogs running around out here, you know what I mean? I'm concerned about the neighbors, really. Um, because I mean, you have about a pack of 5 or 6 dogs and stuff like that, coming around your place. mean, you probably wouldn't like it too much either.
Well, no, I live in a neighborhood. I don't live in the country. I wish that I lived in
Yeah.
the country. I've thought about buying land and having a tiny home built on it, one of those small homes, but you have to get everything hooked up and it's just a long drawn out process.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Um,
So,
I mean, it uh, I'm glad that I'm in the one I'm in now, but you know, I still got a lot of stuff that I've got to pull out of all the other places and stuff, man. I got to figure out how to get rid of it or find places to keep it and all that stuff.
you'll do
So
it.
I clutter up my house like I did before.
Yeah, you'll do it. I'm just so happy that you were able to stay where you are and you've built yourself a home. And I'm very proud of you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit politically, like, do you think the government's going to open up?
I really don't give a crap, honestly. I don't care.
Well,
Um,
I get concerned about it because I know people that are on SNAP, and some of them are supposed to get their SNAP stuff tomorrow. They're supposed to get it today. The ones today didn't get it. And these are legitimately disabled people.
right on.
So I think that's my concern is my empathy. Um, and plus, I just hate the
I mean, if you
Democrats.
start looking at on the statistics of it, I'd say more than half of the people that are on EBT and SNAP are not even fucking American citizens.
Well, that is
You
a
know?
huge issue.
Yep.
But I think that Trump doesn't want that. And the Democrats do.
Well, yeah, because they're communists, kind of like that jackoff that got voted in New
Oh,
York, a fucking full-on
Madami.
communist. And
Madami.
I'm gonna tell you something straight up, man. I don't care. New Yorkers, don't come to Florida. We're not accepting. We're not. You're
Well,
not welcome down here.
that's what I've
Yeah.
been saying in chats that I've been in. I'm gonna go and change the sign and say, "New Yorkers, you are not welcome here." And instead of a potato gun, have a gun that shoots out oranges.
I
So every
guess.
New
Yeah.
York license plate it
Yeah.
detects, it starts shooting at them.
Well,
Just
because
and it's
I'm
gonna
sick and
happen.
tired. I'm sick and tired of all the New Yorkers and Californians moving here and basically bringing the same shit that they left from, and they bring it here. I hate that crap.
It's gonna
It's like
happen though,
you
Wing.
get
It's
you
already
get.
been happening.
Yeah, yeah, I know, and it's like the further south that you get down past Orlando, the more likely you're in Yankee land down there. Uh,
Well, DeSantis said, and I don't know if this is going to hold true, that he's going to put tariffs on the New Yorkers that move here. Abbott in Texas has said the same thing.
well, and this is another thing too, man. When it comes down to that, I mean, I they need to actually make like a one sentence fucking thing when it comes down to like the property taxes. There's so many damn politicians here in Florida that are trying to screw up the property tax scenario to make it where it's like so confusing and it never gets passed. Because they want to keep that revenue coming in,
They're
and
sick.
um and it needs to be like basically one sentence. It's like for people that live here, eliminate the property tax for the people that live here. Yeah, I mean property taxes for like businesses and people that are like snowbirds and stuff like that. Yeah, then keep the property taxes on them. But the people that live here, we need to eliminate property taxes,
I
and
think
he needs to
DeSantis is
fast
supposed
track
to be
that.
working on that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, but there's so many politicians here in Florida that are working against him. And unless he
Mm,
actually makes an amendment in the Florida Constitution, he really can't do anything about it.
well,
You
that's
know,
true.
he has to make an amendment in the Constitution to do something.
Maybe
But
if you've lived here 5 years or longer, you don't pay property taxes. If your home is, well, just don't pay property taxes. Like if you're an established resident, let's say 5 or 10 years, um, and you live here, then maybe they don't have to pay property taxes. My home's paid off. I'm paying exorbitant property taxes, and it's the lowest ones I can pay.
yeah, well, it needs to be eliminated altogether. I mean, especially for the
Yeah.
people that live here. But he can still get property taxes from like businesses and the snowbirds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because there will still be revenue right there. But like I said, there's too many politicians that are working against it.
Oh, I
They
agree
want to
with
keep
that.
that revenue coming in, and it drives me nuts. Needs to be
I
eliminated.
Yeah, I actually had a surprise the other day. I got back a refund check from property taxes because I had paid too much.
Oh
It was like
yeah.
maybe $150, but it was nice. Good for me. I'm going to overpay more so I can get a check back and be surprised.
I hear
It
you.
just, oh no, it's just, I was so happy, you know. Oh, and my birthday was yesterday.
Mine's this month too.
You're, you're a Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
God, no wonder I don't get along with you.
No, I hear you. Right. Sagittarius. You're a Scorpio, aren't you?
I'm not going to say because you're going to totally trash mouth me. Yes, I am.
That
I had to
explains it.
It wasn't yesterday. My birthday wait a minute. My birthday was yesterday. It explains nothing. Okay. Anyway, I had the best birthday I've had in a long time. You know, Indy sang me a special song Monday night,
I saw it.
and
Okay.
then Lady C did a live music hour last night for me for my birthday and sang songs that I loved. Peanut made up a song for me.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's the goofiest, most funniest song, and I just adore it.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to say, to know that I'm loved that much when I didn't expect it was a huge blessing. So
Yeah.
now you can sing happy birthday to me now.
No,
Come on, Wayne.
I don't do that. I don't even have birthdays. I have reunions. I don't have birthdays anymore. I just
Well,
have,
I have skipped them for a long time too, but I've had a lot of positivity this year. Um, just good things have come my way. So I decided I'm going to celebrate me being born.
well,
So
yeah. I mean, I have reunion. I have
what are your,
reunions. I
what are
just
your,
have reunions.
well,
What?
what do you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just have reunions of my birthday. Or, I
Well,
mean, I could do what my grandmother did. My grandmother had reunions of her 21st birthday. So she never got older than 21. And
So what do you mean you have a reunion every year on your birthday? Would you have a family reunion for
I
your
no,
birthday?
I just have a reunion of my birthday. That's it. Because my I only have one birthday. That was the day I was born.
What does that
I don't.
even mean?
I just have reunions, basically.
That reunions are family get-togethers.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, what does it mean the way you're saying it?
Well, like I said, I just have a reunion of my birth at the day of my birth. I don't really have a birthday because my birthday is actually the day I was born. So I don't
Oh,
really. I don't celebrate birthdays.
wait a minute. Let me clarify this. Do you do this every year on your birthday?
Yeah, every year I just have a reunion,
Well, then
basically.
you're
Yeah.
celebrating your birthday.
No, not necessarily.
No,
Because I
not
don't get
you.
any older. I'm still a
That's
child.
true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah.
So am I.
I mean, I've just been on this fucking planet for 51 years. That's all.
Oh my God, you're so ancient and old.
I know.
You're not old.
Yeah.
You're only
Well, you ask my mom, and she's like, "Holy shit!" Just reminds her how old she's gotten.
Well, my son gets an 8-year older every year, and I cuss him out for doing it because I think it's totally unfair because then it makes me look older. Like, how
Right.
dare he?
Yeah.
But it's okay. He called me
Yeah.
last night and sang happy birthday to me, so I'm very happy. I don't ever care about getting gifts, it's when people can take time. Time is a gift. That's what's important.
Oh, Watt life just popped. Okay, I didn't see him in there. Good to see you, Watt. You know, anybody that I do know, the link is in the chat. You guys can pop in if you want.
And Wing would love for you to come up and save him from me.
Well, I mean, we just bring more conversation and
I like the conversation. You had
into the.
somebody from England on one night, didn't you?
Yeah, that was Ron. Yeah,
Oh, I think I've talked to him before. I enjoy
I've
him.
I've known Ron for about 5 years now, and
Yeah, I enjoy him.
But we were on another stream talking about some stuff earlier that night, and then the stream ended, and then Ron opened up a stream, live stream on his channel, and and then I told him I wasn't going to stick around for very long because I was going to start my stream. He's like, "Well, I'll just go over there. I'll just shut this one down and go over there." So that's the reason why we came over. Because I mean, honestly, some of the conversation we were talking about on the other stream, like I said, is what we were talking about over on this one on mine,
Mhm.
and it's general stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Well,
know,
you came on early tonight.
I was bored, man. There's YouTube is just boring for some reason.
Well, let me tell you something. I thought it was gonna be boring tonight. India's on. She went on at 10, and she's showing her music from Monday night because it was so good, and that's all she's showing. So she doesn't have to do anything, it's just the music panel playing.
Yeah,
So
like the
she's in
like the premiere or whatever, like a
Yeah,
premiere.
yeah, Premiere, thank you. So she's decided she wanted to post the links in the chat, so I didn't feel like I needed to be there so much, so I wanted to, be able to talk, so here you are.
Yeah, she got a community strike. Uh,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, because of that very last thing that very last video she shared at the end of the stream.
Yeah, I saw that, but she's still up on Rumble.
Yeah, I know.
Her stream is
That's
up
how
on
she.
Rumble.
Yeah, that's how she got it back or got the video back or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
so
we were backstage talking about it and stuff.
yeah,
And
I had dropped out at about a quarter to one, um, and then I dropped back in. I just was kinda lurking and going back and forth to different things, and I like to play games on Facebook because it kinda relaxes me. It's really childish games, but I know that I can play them and do okay with them. So, I'm smarter than a 5th grader playing games on Facebook.
well, right on.
So, it's fun. I don't like to play those
Oh my
games that have
gosh.
a lot of guns and
It
violence.
is it is so concerning that so many young people and that honestly I was sitting there looking like for instance, okay, when it comes down to the stats, if they break, like okay, that bull crap over in New York with that communist getting voted in, the majority of people that voted him in were young
Yes.
female
Yes. And I
and
don't understand it.
because they're stupid. And
Ye
these are the same people that were sitting there, complaining about EBT or no kings crap, and yet they voted that crap in. You know,
Yeah, how they gonna like living
and
under
this guy
Muslim
was,
law?
and yeah, exactly. He wants that Sharia law kind of stuff too,
I
because
know.
that Sharia stuff or that Muslim, the Islam is basically the same thing as communism in a lot
Hmm.
of ways. And you would think, him being so public about this thing that they wouldn't do it, but because a lot of these people they would just try to hide it and do all kinds of sneaky shit to get into office. No, but he was completely open about it, but yet all these stupid, that's what concerns me. It's like, I see like these people that do like these, like a man on the street type interviews and stuff. And,
Yeah.
I'm asking them just simple civil, civil questions, like, I saw this one where this chick, she completely did not know or really didn't think Hawaii was an actual state of the United States. She was like, "It's
Gee.
an island out in the middle. It's got its own culture. It's like it's not a state of the United States." I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, "Oh, what's going to really blow her mind is territories like Puerto Rico." You know what I mean? That's really going to blow her fucking mind.
Yeah, how are these young women gonna like being repressed and suppressed and being forced to wear burqas maybe?
Well, not only that, it's like, because like I said, they were sitting there complaining about EBT and stuff. Well, this guy that they're putting in wants to actually make grocery stores government owned.
I know.
What's up, Gregory? What's up, man? And that's the thing too. It's like, okay, yeah, government owned grocery stores. Oh yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. You complain about EBT and fucking SNAP and all that shit. You guys, you
And
guys are
prices
just
going
shooting
up.
yourself in the fucking foot, really.
Yep. Hello. Is it Greg or Craig?
Yeah, Gregory. Yeah, that's Gregory.
Greg. Well, you can put the link out in case he wants to come up.
I don't know if I've ever seen Gregory on a panel,
Gregory,
but
would you like to come up?
he's across the pond, if I'm not mistaken.
You have a lot of across the pond friends in England, don't you?
Well, it's yeah, because I get all over the place.
That's
You
good. I think it's nice to have friends from all over. I love it when people come in chats and they're from Scotland or Ireland or England, Australia. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of stuff that I I like to because I like other people's perspective. It's like and I've said that like when I was talking to Ron the other night, and and Ron knows this, man, because I've said this before. If I don't rely on like news, like like mainstream or whatever you want to call it. I don't rely on any of that stuff to tell me what's going on, like across the pond in the UK, for instance.
Mhm.
What I do is I talk to people that live there,
That's the
and
best way if you can.
well, I mean, because because they were right there, boots on the ground, and a lot of protests, for instance, that happens over there doesn't even make the mainstream news over here. So it's and plus I love the perspective because I mean, honestly, what my perspective where I live is definitely different from where they live, you know, um,
Well,
and
they're
I'm
actually
sure.
up doing things about it.
Well, in some ways, you look at France; they're really starting to do. I mean, Italy. I'm sorry, Italy is really starting to do some really crazy shit.
I think they're having big protest in Rome a couple weeks ago, but I haven't really looked into that lately. I
Mm.
send news story to this
See,
restreamer. Huh?
and yeah, you look at Peru, man; they're burning buildings down and shit, and
I didn't
it's
know
pretty.
that. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know Peru. Well, see, I don't send him any news from overseas because he wants to focus on the US news. But I
yeah,
go through a lot of news, so I know what's going on in Ireland. Yeah, the UK. But
yeah,
I didn't know what was going on in Peru. Actually, the man who mows my lawn is from Peru. I
yeah.
hope his
I
family's
mean,
okay.
I've been watching all of it, man. Honestly, I mean, because like I said, when we were talking about digital ID,
Mhm.
a lot of these other countries are basically the testing grounds, so they can, you know, see how it's gonna work and stuff like that, and eventually they're gonna, that's the plan is to do it here. I mean, honestly, I posted it on my community tab also. Yeah, I mean, the 45 goals of the Communist Party that was read into the congressional record back in 1963. If you
Mhm.
read through those goals, quite honestly, they're completing most of those goals. And, it's the ideological subversion bullshit. And it's really, and that's why you got furries and transgenders and all this debauchery shit becoming normal. It's because it's part of the plan. It's part of the goals in their communist mentality.
Well, I'll tell you, my mind has opened up more, and I'm kind of like I'm on the right, definitely. But as I went on Algo's panel last night on Rumble, just to talk a little bit, but my eyes and mind are getting more open, by being on Indy's panel in her chat, hearing things, seeing videos and stuff to where I'm not as regimentally on the right as I was. I'm kind of more in the middle, but I'll never lean to the left.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm not going to dispute things that people are saying. I'm not going to just say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true," because it could come true.
yeah.
And I
I
do see
mean,
us heading in a bad direction, and I don't know how to turn it around.
well, that is a $10,000 question, isn't it? What do we do? Kind of shit.
All the time, that's what people say. Do I want a chip in me? Hell no, I don't. So what are they going to do? Do a blowgun and sedate me to put it in?
That is one of the plans.
No,
I mean, for real,
I have no
that
doubt.
has been proposed. You know,
So you would
when
get
it
it
comes.
involuntarily.
Yeah, that has been some of the plans actually, when it come down to like the vaccine and stuff.
Ugh.
Um, Yeah, that was one of the proposed plans to actually get people injected is to do it like that, kind of like a tranquilizer gun almost. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I can see them doing that. Trank you, and maybe when they trank you, the chip is in the trank, so it just, like, goes into you at
yeah,
the same time.
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
just
idea. That had
blow
that.
gun
I
the
mean,
chip
that
into
was
you.
yeah, that was literally one of the ideas that people were tossing around to actually get it into people's bodies. Yeah.
God, I was just kidding.
Oh no, I know, I know. It's that's the thing though. It's like it might sound crazy and far fetched and sci-fi and stuff, but no, these these psychopaths, the builder, the billionaires, and all this other crap ass people. They don't really give a crap. They see all of us as like basically cattle. Um,
But would the billionaires get chipped too, or would they just let basically
Most
the
likely
peasants be
not.
the one?
Do you really think they're going to eat bugs? Seriously, come on.
Hmm. Just throwing ideas out
I
there.
mean, do you really think that they're going to? I mean, do you really think Biden got that shot?
What shot? The COVID? The
Yeah,
goof?
yeah. Do you think he actually
Um,
got it, or was that a saline solution?
I don't know. Did Trump get it?
I don't think any of them got it, honestly.
I
Um,
don't know. I don't know that we could ever know. I mean, considering the fact that Biden ended up getting it so much and was so sick, like, what
I,
good did it do?
I don't think that's the reason why he got sick, honestly. I think he was
Why?
just sick from the beginning, also.
Yeah,
And
he always has been kind of frail.
I mean, seriously. I mean, these people. It's it's they've got so much money and power and influence. They don't they don't see themselves as the same as us. You know, they look down their nose at
Oh,
us,
I'm
and I said,
sure.
of course they do. You
I'm
know,
sure.
um, you know, especially somebody like me, for instance. I mean, yeah, I'm just a peon to those people.
Hmm. I'll tell you something, and I don't mean to sound snobby or anything. The way my dad raised me, despite the fact that I don't have the money, I could go and mingle among the uber rich and they would accept me because I was taught all the refinements. I was taught the arts. I can go to any fancy restaurant and know which plate to use, which fork and knife to use, and everything. But would I ever want to be around any of those scums? No, I'd be puking. So I don't
Yeah.
even know what the point of my story was.
Well, I wouldn't even want to be around it, honestly. I wouldn't, even if I had millions and millions of dollars in my bank account or whatever, I'd be completely isolated from all that shit.
I would still be a loner. I would if I had millions. And also, I'd be able to give the money away to people who really need it. I'd have so much fun giving that money away. I wouldn't want to go to parties and socialize and do all that crap. It's just like cocktail talk just bores me to death.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah, no, no, thank you.
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't fit in any of that kind of crowd.
Well, I don't want to. I just don't want to. Besides, I'd have to get dressed up, and I kind of prefer not to.
Or you can give them big finger to them and walk in with nothing but sweatpants and a big shirt.
A hoodie
Flip
on.
flops or some flip flops or some slippers and shit. It's like, I'm
All I
dressed for
got
you.
is flip flops, Wing. I'm
Yeah,
not going to go out and buy fancy shoes. I could get those, what are those Billy Bob teeth? Put those in,
right. Yeah, like
paint a bunch of freckles on me and put my hair in pigtails
yeah,
and go, I'm here for the party.
yeah, exactly. You know,
That's very tempting. Now I got to find some rich people.
some gator skin Crocs.
I have Crocs, but they're not gator skin. Oh, I'd have to wear Crocs. That would just be perfect.
Yeah,
Oh god, a fancy dress and Crocs.
Fancy dress and Crocs and sweatpants.
And sweatpants under the fancy dress. You just don't get any better than that.
Right,
God,
exactly.
you
There
know
you go.
fashion, that's kinda scary.
I'm telling you, man.
And
I
a
create I
straw
create my
hat.
own fashion. I create my own fashion.
I
Yeah.
know you do. I've seen you on the sewing machine.
Yeah.
I could go in with a toothpick picking my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm very visual, you know? I'm seeing me actually doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was wearing my vest actually, at the Autopalooza scenario.
Your leather
Um,
one?
yeah, my leather vest that I'd sewed those extra patches on and stuff. I was wearing that at Autopalooza.
Ah, good
Um,
for you.
um, because I had I have a patch that says Wingnut on it. I've got Anarchy Television on the back. Um, you know, but I think there's only one video where you can see my vest and stuff that I think Ripple Media did, because he was standing behind me. Um, so you can see that. But I mean, you didn't really. I mean, I didn't really show up on hardly anybody's videos, which actually is okay with me.
Yeah, I know. I know how you are. You know what'd be fun is I go to a big fancy party dress like that and take you as a date in your patched up camouflage pants and
Yeah,
your vest and your
um,
Crocs.
I've got some camouflage Crocs, man.
But you'd have to wear a bow tie.
Fuck that noise. I wear. I get one of those T-shirts that look like the fancy dress.
Oh, the
Like
tuxedo
the
t-shirts.
tuxedo T-shirts. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is a funny path. All right, talk about something you wanna talk about.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really have anything. I didn't really have anything planned. I don't know. I mean, I have been watching a bunch of stuff, that kind of irritated me. It's like just recently, there's this lady that got kicked out of Gold's Gym because she started making a big stink about this fucking dude that claimed to be a girl that wanted to dress in the girls' locker room, and the girl was standing there naked in the girls' locker room, and she saw him there, and she got all irate about it. And when she did that, the people at Gold's Gym kicked her out. And
Oh,
I'm
I saw
sitting there,
that story.
and she actually sat in the middle of the gym, and all that stuff is starting to yell. And it's like they're letting a man, in the girls' locker room, blah 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 blah, and all that other shit. They ended up kicking her out. I thought I was like, man, see, this is the part that I'm like, like I said, it's one of the goals of the Communist Party to get all this stuff like normalized. When it comes down to like transgender and debauchery and all this, that's one of the goals actually, is to get that stuff normalized in, because it demoralizes people. It's like I said, it's part of that ideological subversion.
I did send that video to Jeff, as a matter of fact, this morning, and he played it later on this afternoon, and I was so proud of what she did, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
and nobody backed her up, and that's kinda
no,
what made the chats mad that, his lives were on, is he pointed out, "And nobody backed this woman up."
yeah, and I don't understand why the other women and the other women at that Gold Gym didn't back her. I don't understand that crap. That's what drives me nuts. Because I mean, honestly, it probably would have gone a different direction if there was probably like 10 other women there that were basically, saying the exact same thing as she was saying.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean, honestly, man, uh, I mean, I think it's creating more. I mean, quite honestly, man, as far as I'm concerned, it's like if they really want something like that, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, period. If you're a biological man, I don't care if you want to dress up like a girl or not, you still go to the men's bathroom.
Yeah,
I mean, if it really comes down to it, we'll just have to fucking start building the goddamn transgender bathrooms. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Or
Well,
something,
absolutely.
or both the men and the women transgenders. So have a co-ed transgender bathroom. You know,
Yeah, I know. When Target decided that they were gonna do that and allow transgenders into the ladies' room, I quit going to Target, and I complained at the desk before I went out, at customer service desk,
Well, that's
and
just
they
asking
they
for
just said there was
trouble.
nothing they could do about it. I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing about it. I'm never coming in your store again."
Well, you know what it is, what I think it is, what I think it is going on. It's like the people that own these companies, like for instance, like, the CEOs of Gold's Gym or Target or whatever, they
Mhm,
probably got, I don't know, a relative or a child that's transgender. And they got this this mentality where I've got to back them, and I got to do this, so now I've got to do this for the whole company, and then and all this other shit. You know what I mean? That's probably what's going on, because I
well,
mean
I would
otherwise,
disagree with that.
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I'm just saying.
my disagreement would be that I think that the government controls that, and,
Well, it's a private corporation, they can't control it. I mean, it's a private corporate, they can do
oh,
whatever
they
they want.
can if they get money, they can pay them off and say, "You know
Yeah.
what? You do this." It's like lobbyists, the government lobbies Target or lobbies Gold's Gym. I saw in a chat, somebody said, and she's very well informed, that this is what Gold's does. They allow that in almost all their Gold's gyms, and that other people have been kicked out for complaining,
Yeah. I think,
you know?
we got to start normalizing this fucking complaining part. Normalizing, um, fucking. Because I remember back in the day, this is before I was born. It was actually commonplace to, say, oh, well, the only good communist is the dead communist. And it's like, why don't we just make that normal again? You know
You
what I mean?
you don't wanna say
Stuff
that
like
on
that.
YouTube, honey.
Yeah, fuck all of them. I don't care. You
Okay.
know, because honestly, this Islam and this communism is really what's destroying. Well, a lot of it is what's destroying this nation. Being infiltrated into the government and infecting and starting to make legislation. Now, I don't really care. We can, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to live in America and live as a communist, fine. But when you start, you get into positions of government and you start, making legislation where it's like, you're forcing people at the government gun to do this
Mhm.
shit. Now that's a different story. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit if people want to walk around in women's clothes and all that stuff. I don't care. Doesn't matter. But when you start trying to force me into you know,
Accepting it?
accepting and adhering to that delusion,
Mhm.
that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
you
I see
know.
your point. Well, Dearborn, Michigan has been totally taken over by the Muslims.
Yeah, I know, and honestly, man, it's a big deal too. I mean, quite honestly, that needs to stop. Because I mean, this is how Islam has done this in many other countries. All right, in many other countries, I'll put it this way. All right, in Muslim countries, or they don't get out in the middle of the damn street, sitting there praying and shouting out Allah Akbar and all this other stuff. They don't do that there. They do that here in this country and other countries that they're trying to actually, they're trying to take over, because it's a form of occupation. And that's their tactic that they've done in other countries. They did it in Iran, they did it in Afghanistan. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
they know this tactic works. That's the reason why they're doing it here. They go to Dearborn, Michigan. They sit there and play that damn stupid crap 5 times a fucking day. And then now they want us. If you speak against it and they want to try and all this other shit, it's like they've been doing it over in the UK, a lot worse over there than they are here for now.
Mhm.
Hell, they're putting people in jail just for fucking memes.
Yeah, I know. And also they've built a lot of mosques in Dearborn too, so they can do their praying there. Well,
Yeah,
Tommy Robinson, who was a big anti-parliament, anti-whatever, has been cleared of all charges. So that's a really good thing over there in the UK, because he's a very strong leader. He's not in a political position, but he has a lot of people who back up his ideas.
yeah. I mean,
And he's very much anti-parliament.
yeah. Um, the thing is, it's like, we cannot allow this as Americans. We cannot allow this occupation to go on. This
Well, it's being
occupation of
allowed.
Islam. Yeah, I know we
What can be
cannot though.
done? And
Well,
there's that question again. What
well,
can we do?
well, we could probably do the exact same thing that they're doing. Just use like fight fire with fire kind of thing. Like start throwing bacon at them or something. I don't know, man. I mean, seriously, you know what I mean? Um, um,
I'm sorry. I don't
There was
know.
actually I
I
can't
don't know.
remember what college it was. I can't remember what college it was, but, they were having a big problem with, Islamics and stuff like that that were, trying to force their, um, viewpoints of, like, Sharia law and all that stuff. And a lot of the students, what they were doing were actually, like, putting strips of bacon in the Quran. Just, they'll find the Quran or, like, some, Islamic book or something like that in the libraries or whatever, and they'll just put a strip of bacon in there. And it's kinda
Whoa,
like
I
a
hadn't heard that one because well, it couldn't
yeah,
have been Yale or Harvard or any of the real
I
expensive ones.
I
It had to
cannot
be a
remember
smaller
where
college.
I cannot remember where it was right offhand.
Okay.
But I find that as a form of protest in a sense.
That is something. I hadn't heard that. Hello, ATL Transparency News. He wants to know, what side of the world are you going to reach tonight? Anybody that listens.
Well, yeah, anybody that listens, I'm stretching out to anywhere that will listen.
That's right.
ATL Transparency, good to see you.
Where does that person live?
ATL, I'm assuming that's Atlanta.
Well, that's what I kind of thought. I just didn't want to like assume.
I'm
Hey,
I'm
Atlanta,
assuming.
you want to come up here and talk?
I don't know. It depends on who all wants to come in. I mean, I don't know what's going on because I mean, what is it? Almost 10 o'clock here, so that
It's
would
almost
be
11.
yeah. It's well, where you're at. Um,
Well, yeah, but I count too, okay?
yeah. I'm
So
just sitting
you're
there
talking
thinking
about
like I'm just sitting there thinking it's like okay because of the time change. Let's see here. It would be a 7 hour difference between here and the UK. So it's early in the morning over there. And I think it's like a 16-hour difference between here and Australia.
well,
So
there's a 14-hour or and a 16-hour difference. So it depends on where you live. Got JM is on live tonight doing Words Game, and Creek Squad's coming on at 11:15. This has turned out to be the busiest night ever.
like I said, I
There's
I was
all kinds
bored.
of people popping up. I just, I can't believe it. I'm actually going to go on Creek Squads later and sing karaoke.
Yeah.
I did it last week. Don't you want to come on and
No,
sing too?
no, I don't like karaoke. I
No,
can't.
no.
I really don't like karaoke. I really don't at all.
I used to hate it because the ex and his family did it every time we got together as a family. And I hated it because I didn't want to sing in front of them and I just didn't enjoy it. But now I like going on Creeks because it's a smaller panel and they're very supportive.
Right on.
And I find that I like to sing.
Looking
So
to watch some Art Bell. I haven't heard, man. I love Art Bell. I mean, I
who's
listened to
Art
Art
Bell?
Bell for many years. I listened to Art Bell before he died. Many years. Art Bell did AM Coast to Coast AM
Oh,
radio show.
oh.
I think it's
Mm,
a guy named George Norrie is doing it now since Art Bell passed away.
what kind of radio was it? What'd they do?
They did everything. They did all kind. A lot of times that had to do with like alien stuff or
Oh.
ghost stuff or whatever. That kind of genre in a sense.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, I'd listened to Art Bell for probably 15 years or more, actually, probably 20 years before he passed away.
Do you
Yeah,
believe in
Coast to Coast
ghosts?
AM. You know,
Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in spirits?
I, 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 I don't believe I know they exist.
Hmm.
You know, I
I
know
believe
that.
you. I I believe in spirits. You know, there's many, many people that will never agree with me, but I believe in them. I believe that those that have passed can come back to visit you when you need them. They have for me.
Yeah. Well, it's all, to me, it's like a no-brainer in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, good. Oh my God, we agree on something. There is hope for the humanity.
Huh?
I said we agree on something. There's hope for humanity. I'm just being dramatic. AM and shortwave. What does shortwave mean?
Shortwave radio.
Well, is that what you
Short
had?
shortwave radio. I don't have a shortwave radio anymore right now at the moment.
What's the difference between shortwave and longwave?
Uh, well,
Or
shortwave
is there
definitely.
one?
Yeah, there is.
Huh.
Um, yeah, there's long wave, short wave, medium wave. Yeah, shortwave. Actually, it's got a longer distance. Um, you can get further away.
Well,
Like
I
you can
guess
get
that
on
makes
shortwave,
sense.
and you can hear other countries on it and stuff like that. Pretty regular.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
My
it's
dad,
just another mode, basically. Like UHF, VHF. You know, uh, Shortwave, AM, FM.
well, my dad, when he was in the Navy, he was in communications, so he would have known all about that.
Yeah, I'm an old radio guy, when it comes down to it. So,
Old
I
radio.
mean, that's something that we were talking about a couple of nights ago. I was sitting there talking to Billy the other night. Um, it's Cola's husband or Cola's man or whatever. We were sitting there talking about
Oh,
the different types of knowledge and stuff that we've that needs to be passed on. Kind of like because he likes to make knives and I make knives also. So we have that in common on that end of it. He does leather work and I do leather work and stuff. But then
you
there's
do a lot of different things.
yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about different stuff like that. Different types of knowledge and stuff like that. It does need to be um, um, passed on. You know, um, like blacksmithing or just or radio stuff. Because honestly, I mean, this digital prison that we're heading straight forward. I honestly think that going back analog is probably one of the ways we're going to be able to combat this digital fucking prison. Um, and if everything goes down, for instance, if the cell phones go down or the internet goes down or any of that stuff, I mean, that'll be one of the ways that we'll be able to communicate
How would you communicate through
through
short?
radio, through analog means. Yeah.
Tell me what analog means.
Well, okay, put it this way. You remember back in the day when, television,
Yeah.
that's, CB radio, like ATL was talking about, CB radio is analog. The old television back in the day before it all went digital,
Mm-hmm.
that was analog.
Mm. Where you actually didn't have a remote control.
No, analog just means the different types of the way it was transmitted and received was doing through analog instead of digital. Nowadays, you don't have the ghost images and the snow in the background on your TV, because it's all digital now.
Hmm.
Remember back in the day when you had your TV and you only had like 3 or 4 channels, and sometimes you had to sit there and
Yeah.
wiggle the damn the rabbit ears to get it come
Rabbit
in right.
ears,
Yeah,
put
and you know
tinfoil
how
on them.
sometimes yeah, I mean, it's, used to have like what I call snow is all that, all that, all that static type, in your
Yeah.
TV. If you're getting this, that was back when everything was analog.
No, I'm far too young for that. I don't remember any of it.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yes, I do remember it.
Mhm.
White noise.
Yeah, white noise. Yeah, I call it snow. Yeah, white noise,
Snow.
basically, yeah.
Yeah. Never
Analog
understood what
analog
white noise
analog
was.
is, I think it's just, like I said, I think it's gonna be one of the ways that, we'll be able to, uh, use that to go back to that, you know and analog would be considered, like, for
But you
instance,
still need
r r
electricity.
okay, like, for instance, I'll give you another example, letter writing, sending letters in the mail, that's a form of analog.
I love
Um,
to write.
mm, that's instead of an email, for instance. Letter writing is analog versus email would be digital, if I was to
Yeah.
put it in simpler terms, you know?
I've always loved to write. I miss that.
Talking face to face versus what we're doing now. Talking face to face is analog versus what we're doing now is digital, you know?
Oh, well, I won't show my face and you won't show yours.
No, I'm talking about, like, actually in person. That would be
Oh,
analog, you know what I mean? If we were face to face and, sitting in person, that would be a form of analog versus what we're doing now over the internet, which is digital, you know?
okay. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually understand.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to paint a picture in your mind of
No, I'm
what
glad. I'm glad.
what
I
it be.
wanted you to do that. I asked you.
Yeah, what, what it would be. And, I still been fucking procrastinating. I need to get up there and take that antenna down from the tower, and then take the tower down and move it to a new spot so I can get back on the air. And
But you need help.
I've been procrastinating the fuck out of it though. And I do need help when I get down to the point of taking the tower down. I do.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, you do.
but I need to take the antenna down, fix the antenna, take the tower down, put it back up, and then fix the antenna and put that back up, get a power supply, and I can get back on the air and stuff like that. Because my buddy John has been like, I'm giving me shit about it. He's like, he wants me to get back on the air because we used to talk every day on the radio, and he
Yeah, I remember
misses it.
you that. I mean, that's how I first saw you was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple of years. I'd say probably about a little over 2 years since I've been off the air
Hmm.
because of the situation. Because I think it was like, it was like one of the last hurricanes or whatever kind of fucked up the antenna. And then plus I've
Yeah.
moved out of the camper and I moved into this place over here. And
Mhm.
so I have to move everything over here and then hook everything back up. And like I said, I just been procrastinating. And it's been a couple of nice days too. I should have done it today, but I just didn't. Um,
We have had some beautiful weather here, beautiful. Listen, I'm gonna drop down. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to go over to Creeks and go backstage and do a little bit of singing there. I've been
right on,
practicing.
right on.
If you feel like you wanna drop in and say hello, please do, and just mute me if you, hear me singing.
Yeah. I yeah.
I'm not that bad, I'm
Like I
actually pretty
no,
good.
like I said, I don't like karaoke. I don't really hang out around when there's karaoke and stuff like that. I
I
really
don't
don't.
blame you. I don't blame you,
I
it's
mean,
not your thing.
even when we had um, Autopalooza, I mean, we had karaoke. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. I don't like karaoke, but I'm gonna tell you, there was a couple of people that just the, performance was actually better than their singing. So it made it fun for that because, I mean, some people, they were already drunk by the time they got up there, and boy, they were just going nuts, and then it was just funny to watch them do it,
Well,
and their
plus you were there
singing
in
sucked.
person with people that you like, and it was a party atmosphere, and that makes a huge difference than it does just being on the internet
Oh,
and you're in
yeah,
a
for
chat,
sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like, I enjoyed the performance more than I did their singing because their singing
yeah.
sucked, but
Boy,
but,
you're a harsh critic.
yeah, I am. I mean,
Okay,
I've worked in about 3 different bars and karaoke night every fucking week. It's like, it jaded me ever since.
Okay, please don't come hear me sing. I don't need to be
Okay, I'm not
insulted.
going to.
Yeah, I know you're
Not
gonna go,
going
"Oh,
to.
you sing like crap." No,
Yep,
thank you.
I'm not
That's
gonna.
okay. Well, India's still on with her music, and you don't play the word game with JM.
Nope, I'm not
God,
interested in games. I'm
you're a
not in.
really party a pooper. You're a party a
Yeah,
pooper.
just not interested in games.
That's okay. I drop into jams when I can, and I enjoy it, and actually, I've won a couple times, which amazes me because I do a lot of small words. But, I did enjoy talking to you, and I'm glad that you came on early and you do it more often, and I can come up and talk.
Right on. Well,
Okay.
you take it easy.
Okay, have a really good night, Wing, and I'm glad that we talked.
Right,
Toodles.
later. And if I know you, and anybody that wants to come up, the link is in the chat. You know, feel free to hit that link and come on up. I'm not sure what to talk about, honestly, when it comes down to a lot of stuff. Um, and yeah, ATL. I was like, I gotta do some stuff when it comes down to my CB and stuff. I gotta get some stuff done, man. I mean, I really got to get off my ass and stop procrastinating and get all that stuff moved over and hooked back up so I can get back on the air. Um, and I should do it now before it gets really into winter. You know, because like I said, I got I got some people that live that in my local area that they're asking about me. And it's like, where's Wingnut? I hadn't heard him on the radio in a long time. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So got people that are sitting there. You know, they're wondering if I'm going to get back on the radio or not. Like I said, I just been procrastinating the hell out of it. You know, so I know what it. I know what it takes to get that damn and all that shit down and put back up. I'm just not looking forward to it too much. But it might make good content if I did some videos of me doing it. You know, it might. I don't know. I might do something like that. It might make some decent content. And plus, um, you know, kind of show some stuff when it comes down to the radio stuff, man. Again, and especially for those people that are um, not really, and I haven't been really exposed to the CB radio world and all that. But like I said, I've just been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. What do you guys want to talk about? Is there anything on anybody's minds out there? Would you guys want to talk about anything? You got any any news or anything like that that's interesting out there? I don't know. Doesn't have to be here, news here in the States. It could be news other way places. It don't matter. I'm probably I probably do know something about it. I don't know. I observe a lot of stuff. This fire going over better. Make yourself a hub. Yeah, the Autopalooza was fun actually. I had a good time. Like I said, me and Joe Cool went. You know, he came when he came down from Chicago. Me and him got together and then ended up going. And I had a good time. I enjoyed talking to people while I was there. I think that was the main. That's one of the things that I think is important about that when it comes down to the Autopalooza. You know, it's a time for a bunch of people to get together and actually, you know, talk face to face. You know, because otherwise it just seems like we're sitting there hiding behind keyboards and computer screens and stuff like that. There's a I like picking people's brains on what they, what they really are all about. And I've known Joe for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or something like probably close to 5 years now, something like that. Probably 3 or 4 years anyway, at least at the minimum anyway. I've known Joe for a while, and I love sitting down and talking to Joe. So I mean, it was interesting to talk to some of these other people that are into the cop watching, and they call it First Amendment auditors and stuff, and picking their brains on their viewpoints and stuff, and having fun and having a good time. You know, like I said, there was like a the karaoke night, man. I was karaoke there, man. It was, like I said, their performing. A lot of people's performance were much more fun to watch than their actual singing. Their singing is definitely had something to was not all that great, but and there's some people that are just like definitely just had fun doing it, and it was fun for that. And plus Larry, man, Larry Dawes, I'm gonna tell you, man, his place out there is freaking nice. He's got a really nice setup over there, and it would be really cool if I don't think I don't know if um John Felix is actually gonna, you know, be like a majority a part of it like he was this year. If we do it again next year, I don't think he's gonna like be the same in the same position next year. I mean, he was talking about like, he wouldn't mind being the MC, and just have that as, what he was going to do. But um, but I mean, I tell you, I mean, he did. I mean, him and everybody else when it comes down to like Larry and all that stuff, providing the place and John, everything that John did to get that thing going on, happening. It was pretty awesome. I mean, you got their naysayers, the naysayers out there, like old Direct D talking his shit, you know, whatever. I mean, he's just a, you know, he can talk his shit, dig his own grave. That's all. I don't care. Whatever. That's all on him. But what it does is just create more division, I think, that kind of crap. But there's quite a few other people that I would I still would like to meet face to face. You know, um, I got to meet quite a lot of people that um, I've been observing for a long time here on YouTube and all that stuff. Because I mean, like when I was younger, before the internet, I was cop watching. I haven't done that in a long time since, but before the internet, I did it. So I've been observing the movement pretty much ever since and watching it grow. And I think it's interesting, you know, even if it is just documenting the downfall of America. But one of them things. There's some more fucking wood in here right next to it. Maybe I put one of these logs. Big logs in there. And get that one thing. Get this big fucking chunk fucking burned in half if I can. I do need somebody else up here to kind of keep me company. So, like I said, if I know you, feel free to hit that link and come on up. Keep this conversation going. Otherwise, it's just me rambling. I'm not too interested in that. Unless you guys can keep engaged inside the chat, I won't have nothing to talk about. And the numbers will just keep dropping and dropping down to one person in the chat. That's what it says on my thing. I got one person sitting there watching. One person lurking. Such a beautiful moon out tonight, too. Oh, man, it's great. Oh, two people are. What's up, Joe? Joe, the link is in the chat if you want to come up, dude. It's up, you know. I don't know what else to talk about, though. I have no idea what to talk about. If there's anything even worth talking about, not sure. Have you made it back up to Chicago yet? Are you back at Chicago yet, Joe? There you go. There we go.
Whatever, yep.
What's going on, Joe? How you
Hold
doing?
on, let me close this window. It's in fucking cold in here. Hold on. Yeah, I'm knocking shit over. Maybe I should have muted. What's going on, man?
A whole lot, man. Just sitting by the fire.
Yeah. Looks like, well, maybe I can't really tell. Looks like zero light pollution out there.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, well, I
Yeah.
got a full moon sitting right above me, but other than
Right,
that,
right,
I got
right.
nothing.
That's,
You can see the moon right there.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Little
yeah,
little dot up in the sky according to
yeah,
the thing.
yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I used to do that in Colorado a lot, man. They make fires and we just sit outside and
Oh
make,
yeah, dude.
yeah.
That's one of the benefits, you know.
There's benefits of what?
One of the benefits is now here in the country or in the woods
Yeah.
or anyway.
I was gonna say, just of having a little property, period. Not nothing big. But I
Right.
also noticed that anyone who's got a little property around their cribs, they got fire pits and shit. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
thing. Once you start to stretch out, it becomes a thing.
Oh yeah.
Uh, um, we got an Airbnb in Colorado, somewhere. Yeah, definitely Colorado, somewhere outside of Denver or something. We had court for one of our friends, And it was the first time I got. Oh shit, you know these people. It was the first time I got to meet Tom Zebra, Laura Shark,
Yeah.
yeah, a bunch of more motherfuckers, and also
I
somebody.
would have loved to meet Tom Zebra. I would have loved to have
Yeah,
met
it was
him.
great. Also, though, I don't know if you know Police Accountability something channel. Taya and I can't remember her husband, the white dude name. They do a lot of shit on auditing and stuff. Police Accountability Report, I think is what it's called. Anyway, and they got another channel too. And they were there too because they were interviewing a lot of auditors, and it was really great. I'd never had a s'more before, and someone brought up a screen out of a box and made a big ass movie screen in the back with a projector and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had just met Erin, my last girl, and it started getting cold, and we got a blanket and pulled our chairs up. That was part of me getting to know her, and
Hell yeah.
I got great
Like
memories of that, man.
like sitting in a damn drive-through almost.
Yeah, like sitting in a drive-in, like sitting
Yeah.
in a drive-in is what it
Yeah.
was like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And fucking Laura made my first s'more. Right, I had never had it. Like, what? You never had a s'more? Oh, it was great, man.
Yeah. I actually, I mean, I wanted to get a chance to talk to Laura a little bit more, but I didn't. But I didn't get the chance. But
Laura wasn't up there. Laura Shark, she wasn't up there. You made Pink. Maybe you're talking
no,
about
I was,
Pink.
yeah, I was talking Pink. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura, that's Tom Zebra's chick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They say they're not a couple and all that bullshit. Man, they spend too much time together, Joe. And I got into it. The chick, Erin. She thought I was trying to bang Laura. We weren't even a couple then, I don't think, but we was trying to go toward each other. And I remember it was like, I don't know, it was in the night, and I was out smoking outside in the car. And she came out there and we were kicking it and shit. It was late, and fucking Laura just walks out. And I'd never seen this side of her. She's like, huh, I guess she wanted to go out with you and blah, blah, blah. And it was weird. And I was like, shit, I wish they would be going out. And they didn't even told me. Then Tom come out. And I was like, where you niggas going? He was like, man, we gonna go hit the streets. You wanna go? I'm like, yeah. And I told her. And afterwards, she was like, she swore that I had planned that. And I was just waiting for Laura to come out. And I couldn't tell her no different. Uh, and then I had showed her my text messages or something that, and where she saw that I had no fucking idea what was going on. I was talking to somebody else about something totally different or something. But that's my memory of meeting Laura. It was about the same time I was getting to know Erin. And me and her Tom went cop watching, and he came back to haunt me later because she brought it up. I was like, hey, idiot, remember I showed you the text messages and the time that you saying, I forgot whatever. And she had remembered it totally crazy. Like, me and Laura had planned the blah, blah, blah. Like, fucking idiot. And I should have known too, because that streak never left her, where anything is perceived, as, her insecurity was great, super
Right.
great. I've never met nobody that insecure. I remember that night I took her to Articaloosa. When we left, she was like, yeah, the only reason you didn't fuck every bitch in here because I know you wanted to fuck everybody. It was like real disgusting shit you see on TV that you don't want no part of.
Like a Jerry Springer fucking bullshit.
Yes, like who the fuck does this goof ass shit? And I'm not the guy, I'm not gonna argue with you and wrestle with you like some niggas will. I'm not that guy. Disengage from your goof ass with that goof ass shit.
Right.
I'm not gonna coddle you.
Women are weird, man. All women are crazy.
I was
Joe.
just gonna ask you that, man. Fuck.
Yeah, all women are crazy, man. They're just different levels of crazy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That
Yeah.
just sucks to hear because I've been like still holding out for one that ain't crazy. My brother
Well,
told me that when I was young. He said they all crazy, Joe. The secret is find one who's crazy you can deal with, and that's the one that
right,
you be with.
right. Yeah, there's different levels of crazy. There's some levels of crazy you can deal with, you know what I mean, that are okay. You know what I mean?
Apparently,
Um, yeah. I mean,
yes, I
put
had
it this
one
way.
that I could deal
It,
with, but she
well,
did
I mean,
crack.
well, I'll tell you this, man. If you know, a woman that's not crazy and hot, that's like a unicorn.
Yeah, it's
That
not a
like that
thing.
doesn't fucking exist, man. You know.
I saw someone said crazy hot, and that was the third one, and he was like, you can get two of the three. So you can't get hot and not crazy. Maybe the
Right.
other one was good in bed. He's
Right.
like, you can't get whatever and good in bed, and you know whatever else. Like
Yeah.
he's
Those women don't exist, man. That's like a
yeah,
trifecta. They just don't exist.
yes, not crazy, hot and good in bed. He was like, that's not even a thing.
Nope. I don't think that exists, man. I
Mm-mm.
haven't seen that. I've never
Uh,
experienced
and I also, it does seem like the more attractive a woman is, the crazier she is. That does
it.
seem to hold true.
It does happen. Yeah. I mean, it's rare to find a hot woman that's not.
I've had
That,
some really hot women. I'm
yeah.
famous for it. Motherfuckers around the hood, you'd be like, damn, you get the baddest bitches. And I always sold dope, so that would help too. And everyone, even the YouTube shit that I get is hot, is crazy. You can find an average chick who's crazy you can deal with, but a hot chick, I haven't found one who's crazy I can deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
one of them things, man. Uh,
uh,
I and that's like, this is from a guy's perspective, though. Like that's from my perspective, anyway. My experience with the women out there. I've dated quite a few over the years, and um, it's just it's hard to find. You know, um, I dated this one girl a long time ago. Definitely the type of I guess a type of crazy that I guess I could handle, and she was pretty damn good looking, and
yeah,
but it didn't last long.
yeah,
But I was living with her in my van for a while. You
right,
really get to know somebody when you live with them and inside of a
right.
van.
That was my goal with my last chick. We wanted to get a van. I was like, that'd be great because she liked to travel, and we got friends who do it. I was like, that'd be cool. That'd be get to know her. But it's not like you're saying. It didn't work
You'll
out.
really get to know somebody in that position. You really get to know
Right.
somebody.
You said it negatively, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not, and I'll tell you this. I'm like, I'm not a saint either. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I don't have my own.
And you're saying
Um,
it was shitty from both of y'all points of view. Is
I
that what
guess
you're
so. I
saying?
mean, because I can be stubborn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can be
yeah,
stubborn.
right.
On things, and I've
And
got my own, my own bullshit. I guess.
and did she have some shit that was revealed too? Some stubbornness or her own bullshit?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
It gets worse when she drank. Um,
Yeah, and then you're in a confined area after you drink. That's just got to be madness.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
one thing if you can get away from them, engaging when you want. It's another
right.
thing when you have to 24/7. That's
Yep.
sounds horrible.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, if you can do that. What's up,
Right,
Indy? If you
right.
can do that,
Suddenly it's easier.
it's good, because I mean,
Yeah,
but it can work on you, because it's like you can't just go out in the living room and sleep on the couch, that kind of,
right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yep,
Whatever, you know what I mean? But
yeah, yep. You
and then
can't. Right.
like living in a van, there's all kinds of stuff that can go wrong,
That
like for
too. You
instance,
got to
like let's say the
learn.
van breaks down, I mean,
Right.
or whatever,
Which it will. That's what they do when you're putting miles on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what they do. And you learn if you work together, you learn like me and my girl. It was crazy. I'm glad we both had separate cars because when something would go wrong, she would panic. Like, oh my God, my front end is coming loose from here, and then you go get the shit to fix it or whatever. Don't break it. Be careful. Don't touch that. I'll do it. We couldn't work together. Not that's just one example, but I don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
it was. Unpackaging the TV, putting up a painting. It was we just couldn't work together. And I'm blaming her for all of it. Yeah, it was just something weird that
Yeah.
we didn't overcome.
Yeah.
We kind of did just a couple days ago or whatever. She needed help with some homework, and we FaceTime to help with her homework. But that's the first time without her anxiety building to the point we just forget it. And so, I mean, she gets really weird over simple shit, and I was like, that's some trauma from childhood. She's afraid she's gonna look stupid if people have done it. You're doing it wrong. Been yelling at her. Something weird is going on that I don't even understand, and I don't know why I brought all that shit up.
No, I understand really. I mean,
Oh,
I've,
living in
I've
the small spaces. Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
uh,
um, I've been veering away from it for a while now, though. I mean, when it comes down to it, I just see so much problems. It'll be actually kind of good if I can find a woman
yeah.
that clicks with me and stuff like that. But I just,
But like we were just saying, that was the whole topic of the conversation. All women crazy, blah blah, and
yeah,
finding the one that you can click with is a difficult thing. And I'm like, I'm still holding out for one. I guess I can't say ain't crazy. I should be satisfied with click with, but most of them, it seems to be, is it's certainly when you ain't with them, it don't seem worth it. When you know all the peace and mind you get, and a motherfucker, yeah, without all that shit over your head, you be so relieved to get out of relationships and make it feel like they're not worth it. And always in the beginning, it's smooth, and then once you get to know a motherfucker, they get comfortable. Then that's when shit gets revealed.
yeah. My let's see here. One of my ex girlfriends, he was uh, a dancer at a club, and um, I didn't know she was a dancer at the time when I first met her. But a lot of I was working at a bar as a bouncer at the time, and a lot of the girls after the club closed or whatever, or after their shift or whatever, they would come to the bar and drink and stuff.
Yeah,
And that's how I met her. I was working the door checking IDs and stuff, and I would give her shit almost every single time. I'm like, I knew how old she was, but
yeah,
I'm like, I gotta see that ID,
right,
that kind of
right,
shit. It's like, there was one
right,
time, man, and evidently that turned her on. You know
right,
what I mean? But there was one time, man, I was like, she didn't have her ID on her and left it in the car. I was like, I made her ass go back to the car and get her ID and shit.
right,
And but like I said, evidently that turned her on, and it was kind of like think on shit after that. But I mean,
right,
um, and she was definitely, I mean, she was a good looking girl. I mean, she was a dancer or
right,
stripper, whatever you want to call it. She
yeah.
was a dance at a club, and actually a couple of different clubs that I knew of, and um, and
But she was crazy. I think this is where the story goes.
yeah, she was definitely, because she was an alcoholic, and also she did a lot of pills
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
That
That
bothers me more than alcohol, by the way. When
well,
you was telling the alcohol story, the pill
well,
shit
I'm
in
gonna
my
tell you
head, I
something,
was
man.
thinking it
And
more
that was the thing
irritating.
too. And that was the thing too. I mean, um, when and she can get whatever she wanted at the club, that kind of
Of
thing.
course, right.
I mean, and when she was working, alcohol was a free flowing
Yeah,
because
everywhere
there's
too.
well, I mean, that was another thing too at the club that she's working at. They were grandfathered, where the customers can
Dances.
buy the girls any
Right,
any kind of drink that they want, that kind of
right,
thing.
right,
I mean, there's a few of the clubs around here. Well, the club that she worked at was grandfathered in full nude, all right.
right,
But there's a few of the other clubs around here. It's nothing but topless, and you can only
right,
buy champagne for the girls.
right,
But at the club that she worked at, it was a full nude club. Also, you can buy them anything and she would drink Long Island iced teas and like
right.
all night long. I mean,
That
it would get, like, oh
that
my
tells
God,
me a
I don't
bit
know,
about
I
the
don't know how
relationship.
I don't
I
know
could
how she made it home sometimes. Seriously, I really don't.
I
Um,
could yeah, I was gonna say that that would become a part of the irritating habit, right? Because once it becomes a habit and they must do it, now it's irritating as fuck because every day at so and so time, this motherfucker got to go hustle and it's a struggle and they got to come up. Then they're going to come discombobulated. It's a fucking 5 hours out of the day where this person's about to be useless. Because one, you got to go chase the shit and then you got to enjoy the shit. So, yeah.
I tell you, like, you know, I tell you, the sex was great. That was one of the things that kept us together for so long. But you know, I mean,
Uh,
I don't drink alcohol, so I mean, I really don't I don't care about that too much. But
right,
then I mean, I dated this one girl. I mean, she was full on alcoholic. I mean,
right.
she'd have a gallon, one of those gallon jugs of vodka
Yeah,
sitting
that's
by the bed.
alcoholic shit.
I
Right,
mean, she would have to take a swig of that stuff in the morning just to stop shaking, that kind of
right.
scenario.
Yeah, she was full. Right, yeah.
Yeah, she was full on, and you know, it was just one of those things. It's like the different types of personalities and stuff that would come out.
Mm,
I don't know, and plus this is another thing that really drives me nuts about. Well, there was a couple ex girlfriends and stuff that they used to do this shit. They get real fucking friendly with other people, with other dudes. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, well, because like when I was dating that one girl as a dancer, we would go out to the bar or something like that, listen to bands and shit, and next thing you know, she's playing those same fucking tricks that she would do at the club while we're out at the bar,
I
like trying to,
figured.
getting all funny, getting all familiar and stuff like that with the table next to us with a bunch of
I
guys trying to get drinks out of them,
I
you know.
figured that was it when I was saying part of the habit. That's
Yeah.
part of the hustle
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
women like that, right?
Well, I mean, me personally, all right, I don't give a shit what she did at her job. That was that way she made her living. You know what I mean? I
Right.
didn't care. I was like, okay, you do whatever you need to do.
But
But
when it becomes
when
a
we're out
habit,
together,
it
yeah,
comes outside of the life because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
habit. No, yeah,
yeah. When it's like when we're out together and you're not working. We're just
right,
out together. You know what I mean? You lead
right,
that. You don't play that same shit. You
right,
know what I mean? And
right. But
that
no, I
would.
mean, what are the odds that if I'm like, I got a buddy that does pills and I'm out and the opportunity and we're in that circle of the same people who do the pill shit and opportunity pops, of course her nature's gonna kick in. Here's an opportunity. This shit's too hard to come by. I gotta do it now while I can. Then she's gonna tell herself, actually, this is an easy one. I've done it a bunch of times. Suddenly, whatever gear it is that kicks in when she needs her pills and shit is gonna kick in just by being in a certain environment. In your
Yep.
case, whenever you go out, you'd be in danger. Unless you're going to the movie theater, you might not be. But if you go somewhere where there's drinks, a club environment,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, it was and it would create a problem. Sometimes there was one time um that actually kind of worked out in a somewhat, because she was flirting with this one girl and we ended up, getting this girl to come back to a hotel room. So it was the three of us, that kind of thing. That worked out.
Right, right.
But I mean, but
When you
when it
weigh it against all the other times, you got to yell at
exactly,
her and
you
try
know
to
what I mean?
correct her behavior. Suddenly,
Dude,
it ain't
I
working.
mean, I mean, I got pissed off when I was like, man, you don't play these same type of tricks and shit that you do at the club while we're out together and
Right,
stuff. I'm like, because these dudes that are like at the other table and stuff, they're, getting on there. She's flirting with them to get free drinks out of them and stuff like that. And
right,
I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
right. It
These
just,
dudes are thinking something in their minds,
I was
you
gonna
know,
say, it ain't like they're in the game, like you and her in the game.
right?
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get drinks out of it. They're thinking, it makes you look bad.
Yeah, it
This
does.
this
Yeah.
this nigga broad all over us. We could have her if we wanted. Buy a drink, Billy. They're thinking that shit. They're not thinking, this is the hustle,
Yep.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I've had them chicks. I had the strippers. She was the topless one that you were talking about. I had one of those. I had countless where I would just pick up and I got to know them and take them places, and we ran in the same circles and bullshit.
Right.
And the one who I had went through, it was the same shit. Great in bed, I could tolerate her and all of that shit. but she would flirt with men when it came to getting drugs.
Yep.
She couldn't pass it up, yo.
Yeah. And
Uh,
like I said, it's like, it's like, and that's what my thing now, it's like I've been kind of veering away from that type of scenario for a while now. And, just because, I don't know, I guess it's just my area where I'm living, the women to pick from, or there's just not a very good, you
oh
know,
shit.
very good crowd, and it's like, I don't know.
Hey, let me cut out
Maybe I
on
just
you. I totally forgot before I hopped on here. I told this girl I was gonna call her back. I was just supposed to be killing some minutes for her to go upstairs. I don't know how long I've been on here. Let me see if it's too late to call her. I'll be back.
stand for.
All right.
Uh, yeah, if I know you, if anybody does want to come up, man, the link's in the chat. You guys sit back and talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be politics or religion or any of that stuff. It doesn't have to be. We can just sit here and bullshit. I don't know, but Indy, if you're still in there, which I don't know if you are because it only shows one person in there. A little bit had her had her pup last night. Remember the 5th of November. And there's the moon right up in there. You see the moon right up in there? Full moon night tonight. Trying to keep this fire going. Actually, I'm trying to get the wood to burn a little bit. That big log that I get in there, I'm trying to burn it down to where I can get it, cut it, burn it in half. Mhm. But it is a beautiful night out there, though. Just little wisps of clouds. Other than that, it's a pretty clear night. Keeping my eyes open. I mean, somebody was telling me there was supposed to be some like a few meteors and stuff like that is supposed to be crossing the sky tonight. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm keeping my eyes open. I can hear the puppies in the background back there whining. Mm. Come on, you guys. Give me something to talk about. Give me something. Give me some feedback. What's on you guys' mind? Anything? There's not really a whole lot going on, not a whole lot going on in YouTube right now. So, you know, giving a place people to hang out, they want to hang out. So, like I said, it's like for people that I know, you're welcome to come up on panel and sit here and bullshit and talk about whatever. And let's see. Oh, what's going on? I don't know if Indy's over here or not. She probably just came in for a second and then popped back out. Because it looks like there's only 2 people in chat. That's what it looks like on my number count. So KP, it's you and somebody else, and that's about it. Not sure what because I really didn't have a whole lot on my mind, really. Because I just get irritated about some of the shit that's going on out there in the world right now, in America and stuff like that. Like I do like a stupid communist. That stupid communist that got voted in New York. It's like idiots that voted that sucker in. Well, I'm gonna tell you, then grab your popcorn for the crap that's coming up in there. But I'll tell you this: they're not welcome down here in Florida. I don't care if they're leaving New York; they're gonna have to find somewhere else to go. I'm so sick and tired of this communist fucking Islam shit infecting and occupying our nation. So sick of it, man. Telling you, man, our nation's gonna be fucking a shithole country if we keep this shit going on. Not welcome in Louisiana either. Right on. Because I'm telling you, man, it just drives me nuts. And I started looking at the breakdown statistics on the people that voted. And then most of them are just like under the age of 30. It was like young women, young girls are the majority that voted that son of a bitch in. I don't know if where they're getting their shit from. I guess they're learning everything they need to learn from TikTok. I guess evidently it's like I don't know because I mean 'cause I don't understand this shit. It makes me think that it might sound sexist and stuff, but yeah, feed them to the gators. Yeah, it might sound sexist or not, but it's like just that right there tells me that why in the fuck do we let women vote? But well, because they'll vote in a goddamn communist, that wants Sharia law. That's the reason why. It might sound sexist, but as far as I'm concerned, man, I don't think women should be in positions of authority, leadership, or power. And it's not their place. It's not their place. But the rate it's going, the next person that'll be like president of the United States would be like a it'll probably be a black Mexican transgender midget fucking, autistic, fucking, you know, dingleberry. That's probably. I mean, with the rate it's going, that's going to be the next fucking president. Is somebody like that. It's going to be like some fucking stupid shit like that. He'd be like a, you know, black Mexican transgender midget Islamic communist. The rate it's going right now, I don't know. And I mean, tell you, and I don't understand that shit. I don't understand why. I mean, what the fuck? And see, actually, I do understand it. I mean, like I said, if you read the 45 goals of the Communist Party that was read into the congressional record back in 1963, that is one of the goals, is to normalize transgender and debauchery and all this fucking immoral fucking bullshit. That is one of their goals. So, I mean, I do understand it. It's because they're pushing this stuff and this mentality into people's heads, especially the younger generation, and they're eating it up like it's fucking normal. That's why, in a lot of ways, this digital ID and digital currency and all this other shit like that and Sharia law and all that stuff, it'll gain a hold here in America because there's so many fucking stupid fucking idiots being programmed at an early age thinking this stuff is good. And Snake Plissken. Escape from New York. They just can't come to Florida. Fuck. Yeah, I was sitting there like I was like on that gender scenario. It's like that drove me nuts when I saw that video that one lady that got kicked out of Gold's Gym because some dude, you know, identifying as a woman wanted to, you know, go into the girls' locker room and all that shit, and that girl fucking went ballistic. She got kicked out of Gold's Gym for that shit because she was speaking up against it. It irritates the shit out of me, man. That kind of stuff just does not need to be happening at all. We cannot allow this to become a normal thing. We're gonna have to start making it normalizing speaking against this shit. Yep. Well, I'm telling you, she, from the story, because I mean, she did a video after she got out of Gold's Gym, and she was sitting in her car and talking about it and stuff like that. I mean, she was butt naked, and this guy is standing there, that kind of thing. I'm like, damn, do we not respect women anymore? It's like, what the fuck? We need to start normalizing speaking up against this shit and actually calling it out and ridiculing it. Ridiculing the fuck out of it. Normalize ridiculing all these fucking Islamics, these fucking transgenders, these fucking communists, ridiculing them so they just fucking don't have a hold in America anymore. fuck all that shit. You know, I'm so sick and tired of this fucking crap, you know. And, you know, and I've said this before, it's like, I'm 51 years old, man. And the thing is, it's like, if I'm lucky, I've got 20 some odd years left, you know. If I'm lucky, I can live to the age of 75 or a little over that, hopefully over to that. But let's just say if I'm lucky, I got 20 years. I start thinking about all the generations after me, what they're being born into right now, you know, and what the next 20 years, what 20 years from now is going to look like. Quite honestly, man, in 20 years, I'll probably be ready. I'll be like, okay, it's time to go. I'm like, I'll probably be at that point where I'm like, well, if it's my time to die, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'll be ready for it. I'm like, okay, you know, because I mean, the rate it's going right now, I can just sit here and thinking about what the next 20 years, in 20 years, what it's going to look like. You know, but like I said, I'm the X generation. KP. I mean, same. X generation, man. And we're the fuck around and find out scenario. And I'm telling you, man, we need to like bring back normalizing fucking ridiculing this shit to the point where we bring back what is reality. Bring reality back as normal. You know what I mean? 'Cause I am fucking sick of it. I don't like where it's going. I don't like where it's going at all. I mean, I mean, and I miss the 80s and the 90s more and more and more every day. We had it so good back in the 80s and 90s. And we didn't realize it at that time, but we had it so fucking good back then. But, a lot of it can be blamed on the internet. A lot of it can be blamed on the internet. That's one of the things that really went and took everything down to a downhill slope, in my opinion. You know, and then with this fucking AI shit, man, it just keeps on getting fucking worse and worse. Um, I'm not, I'm not looking forward to this fucking dystopian fucking AI fucking surveillance state. It's like goddamn. The damn flock cameras are popping up every fucking where. I actually, it's like with the um, yeah, those people over in fucking Europe that are, taking it upon themselves and taking like sawzalls and fucking cutting those goddamn cameras down. I was like, man, you know, wouldn't it be fucking nice if fucking that kind of thing would start up here in America? Just, just random people from all over the place start fucking just go cutting these goddamn cameras down, these flock cameras down. That would be something. Form of resistance. I like to see where the cameras are when I am out. Yeah, dude. I notice them. I notice where they are. I don't. There is a map actually. I can't remember exactly what it is, but there is a map that you can get downloaded or whatever, where it will show where each one of the flock cameras are. But like in my area around me, I notice I know exactly where all of them are. In a lot of ways, I try to avoid them. I know a lot of the back roads and shit like that where I try to I try to travel around as without getting on one of those cameras. But hell, they got a goddamn flock camera on the boat launch down here. I mean, I'm like, what the fuck do you got a goddamn camera on the boat launch for? Uh, it's a damn one of those flock cameras. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Those damn flock cameras are being abused so much because I mean, cops are taking it as the gospel, and that's becoming bad because it's like um, this fucking AI that's doing the flock cameras are making mistakes, and cops are taking it as gospel and fucking with innocent people. Hell, there was a cop that was using it to track and surveil an ex-girlfriend of his, you know, so he can sit there and just pull up the flock cameras and find out where she's been going, who she's been with, and all this stuff. Basically stalking her, you know, abusing his power and an abuse of his fucking position, and you know, and this is at the beginning, until and we need to actually as Americans get those things fucking banned from America. Period. The only problem is, the Supreme Court is like fucking 10 years behind technology. Yeah, cyber stalking is basically the same thing, but he's the sheriff too. That was another thing that was worse about it. Abusing his fucking position and using that technology to do that kind of shit. Like I said, it's like the Supreme Court is technically like 10 years behind the technology. So I mean, it would, there hasn't been any court cases, anything like that, to actually, to 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 get these things out, and they're just putting them up. There's some communities and some places that even the county or whatever didn't even know these fucking cameras are going up. Yeah, yeah, military's 20 years ahead. Yeah, and that's a problem too because I mean, the governments are, I think it just recently. I think it was Trump was like, okay, it was allowing military to be a part, be um, in conjunction with police departments and sheriff departments and stuff like that as more of a technical part of it. But they advanced or and because I know when it comes down to cops, when it comes down to the military, yeah, there might be one or two that will be like conscientious, like object stuff or go against their orders, or the same thing with the military. There's always somebody to replace somewhere. There's always somebody else that is willing to step in and follow orders and do the fucking stupid shit. You know, these are the standing armies that our fucking forefathers warned us about. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's basically the government as a whole, just basically using the Constitution as toilet paper. They don't give a flying fuck. They just like they'll just do what they want to do. It's kind of like that. What do you know? It's like ask forgiveness instead of permission. They're not willing to ask our permission anymore. They just do it, and then ask for forgiveness and when they do something wrong or they make a mistake or something like that. And we, the people, the tax people that pay taxes and stuff, are the ones that have to foot the bill for it. You know what I mean? That's fucking bullshit. This is, I mean, like I said, it's like going so fucking far into fucking socialism and communism. Next thing you know, this goddamn fucking Sharia law, all that stuff being, like Dearborn, Tech, Dearborn, what was it, Michigan. I mean, I would not be happy with hearing that goddamn fucking stupid shit coming from the mosques being played 5 times a goddamn day. I would not be fucking happy with that if I was living there at all. And then on top of that, all this crap with fucking Israel and the, you know, Bibi Nosferatu fucking, and they are not allies of the American people. And that's just to be clear. But yet, you know, our wealth is being stolen from us in the form of taxes and doled out to places like that. And, they're living off of our dime. They got free health care over there because we fucking pay for it. Hey, we don't have free health care here in America, but yet all our money is being fucking stolen from us in the form of taxes and passed out to over there to Israel, and they got free health care because of it. You know, fuck all that shit, man. And I don't give a shit, man. I honestly, man, when it comes down to the governments around the world, I'm not speaking about the general everyday people, you know, um, but there is no government around the world, not one that is an ally of the American people. They might be an ally of our, what they call what is posing as our government here in America, but they're not an ally of the American people. I don't give a shit what country it is, you know. They try to say, oh, after we fucking bombed Japan and shit, oh, now they're like the biggest fucking allies. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, you bomb the shit out of a country, they become our fucking allies now. It's like I don't understand this shit. You give them fucking all our fucking money, all our wealth, and then like the UN fucking imposing their fucking rules and shit like that on America. With this Agenda 2030, we're heading straight for that. It doesn't matter who's got the job in president, heading straight for this fucking Agenda 2030. You know, it's like that goddamn fucking, that I3 app, was it I3 Atlas or whatever that fucking thing was. I was actually kind of rooting for some kind of fucking aliens or something like that in a big spaceship. I was actually kind of rooting for that in some ways. It's like, why not? Bring it on. The only problem is, I mean, if it wasn't, it was probably some goddamn psyop to try and, saying, oh, we got now this alien invader from another planet or something like that. We need to consolidate everything into the New World Order. You know what I mean? Project Bluebeam. But I was actually kind of rooting on an actual real life fucking, beings from another solar system or another fucking whatever coming here. It's actually kind of rooting on it because I mean, shit, I'd almost rather deal with that than this bullshit that's evil that's been plaguing our planet as it is now. You got all the evil that are in the Bilderberg Group, the UN, the fucking Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, the fucking Council of Foreign Affairs, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the fucking, the WEF. These are fucking evil fucks, man. And they want to be masters of this whole goddamn universe. And the rest of us are just have the obligation to obey. Fuck all that bullshit, man. I mean, seriously, man. The only thing is that, we're not outnumbered. We outnumber them. We're just out organized because these fucking evil fucks, they really got some organization going, man. Yeah, V for Vendetta. I mean, remember the 5th of November. My God, I'm telling you, man, I celebrate Guy Fawkes's actually attempt on what he was trying to do. I celebrate that. I don't really celebrate his failure. I celebrate his attempt, quite honestly. Yeah. And the old TV show from V. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, but I mean, the only problem is, it's like that wasn't all that great then. I mean, it worked out for some people, but uh, I don't know. But I think the powers that should not be, they wanna make us believe in something like the TV show V. Like that, how that would play out. You know, so they can institute the one world government to deal with this external threat from another place other than Earth. But there was a part of me that was rooting for it. That was it. We are many. Yeah, well, I mean, we outnumber them. We've got the numbers, all right? We outnumber them. The only problem is that they out organize us. I mean, they're thinking hundreds of years into the future, and we're not. That's the problem, I think. You know, that's why there's so many people that are not really thinking forward enough. That's why the reason why that communist in New York got fucking fired in is because those jackasses that voted his ass in, they aren't thinking years into the future. They're thinking about now, you know? And even then, I'm not even sure if they're actually thinking. You know what I mean? And quite honestly, I don't even know if it was, I mean, I don't know. Some fucking, if there was actual real people that voted that shit in, those idiots shouldn't be considered fucking Americans. I mean, quite honestly, if anybody that wants to live in a communist type fucking country or a socialist country or a democratic fucking country, they need to fucking get out of America and go to a country that offers that. That's what I think. I'm not going to move, and I shouldn't be forced into fucking moving because of it. No, we need to fucking ship those motherfuckers out into those fucking other countries that offer that shit, because that's not America. That's not what America is supposed to be. None of that shit. That Sharia law, that fucking communist, socialist, democratic fucking bullshit. All that needs to go to another goddamn country that offers it, not here. And we need to start pushing them out instead of them pushing us out. I'm fucking sick of it. We need to start normalizing pushing that shit back out of America. We've been too fucking complacent and letting it in and letting it fucking get a foothold in, you know? No, you gotta fucking fuck all that shit. We gotta start fucking as a people in this fucking nation coming together and fucking, I mean, normalizing pushing this shit out. Like I said, if people want to live under communism, fine. Go to a goddamn North Korea or something like that and live there. Tell me how it works out for you. You know what I mean? I don't want that fucking shit here, and I don't want it infecting America and infecting the young minds of America. You know what I mean? I don't want that fucking mentality at all. And I don't give a shit, you know? You can like, we have free speech. Yeah, we have all that stuff. You can talk about it all you want. But where I draw the line is where they start getting into government and start enacting policies and fucking legislation and all that sort of shit that does not coincide or is in concert with the historical um, um, mentality of America, what America is. Yeah, we need to fucking start, standing up against this shit instead of us getting pushed out. We need to start pushing that out. All that fucking mentality needs to get pushed out. Start ridiculing it, fucking calling it out, fucking all this other stuff, man. Fucking um, and thinking hundreds of years into the future, you know, thinking about what in 200 years from now, where do we want to see America? Where do we want to see America in 200 years from now? And start working toward those goals. You know, quite honestly, we can use the same tactics they've been using against us. You know, take our schools back, take our fucking media back, take our fucking our our local governments back. You know, everything, man, taking all that shit back. You know what I mean? Using the same tactics. You know, we can use propaganda on the good side. You know, me personally, I think anarchy is a step forward. You know, or anarchism is a step forward. You know, it'd be better off than what this whole fucking world is right now. You know, we need to start thinking along, pushing that and, pushing that propaganda out, in a sense, putting that type of information out there where people will start becoming more self-sufficient, more, self-reliant and fucking, voluntaristic, non-aggression, that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean that we can't defend ourselves, just means that we won't initiate the violence, you know, self-defense, but we can't always be on a defensive. I mean, it's like football. You got to have both a defense and an offense. You don't win a game playing defense all the time. It's the same thing with chess. You cannot win a fucking chess game playing defense the whole damn time. So there has to be some offensive scenarios, you know. And unfortunately, there's too many people that are in the defensive mode, you know, letting these fucking evil fucks, these psychopaths, stay in the offensive mode. No, we need to start putting them on a defensive or, put them in a fucking, corner in their ass and shit like that and knocking their goddamn king down, taking their queen out. But, a lot of tough talk, I guess, coming out of my mouth right now. But, most people won't understand where I'm coming from until their backs get put against the wall and they've got nothing left to lose. The only thing is, it's like, they don't want to get us into that position because if we get into the position where we got nothing left to lose, that's when we become really fucking dangerous. But they don't want to get us into that point. They want to just slow cook us, slow simmer. That's why I said they're looking hundreds of years into the future. They're not trying to make this a quick fucking cold turkey fucking scenario. They want to get there and just wean us into it, slow simmer into it, because they got all the time in the world. A lot of these fucking evil psychopaths, they may not see the fruits of their own labor, but they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about hundreds of years into the future, their labor will contribute and get their goals done in hundreds of years from now. That's what they're thinking about. We just got to start flipping that switch in a sense where we're thinking that same scenario, thinking hundreds of years into the future. How, how do we see our nation? How do we see America in 200 years from now? And how do we achieve to get to that point? What do we have to do to get to where we want to be at in 200 years? And then when we get to that point in 200 years, how do, thinking 200 years into the future of that? And then it's like, okay, just keep doing that shit. Unfortunately, the other side, they're out organizing us when it comes down to it. And they're thinking that, and they're getting they're completing their goals, you know. That drives me insane, dude. It's like, they finally burned that thing in half. Finally got that burned. But you got fucking so many fucking kids out there that don't even know what fucking if they're a boy or a girl. It's like, it seems like it's a lost cause in some ways. It seems like it. I get glimmers every once in a while of hope, but I don't know. Glimmers is not enough. like I said, if it keeps on going in this direction, man, you know, I can sit there thinking about the next 20, 30 years from now, you know, if it keeps on going in the direction it's going, I'll be ready to go. I'll be like, all right, it's time to have my spark go to the universe and go live in the universe. I'll be ready. I'll be like, I'm okay with that. You know, I'll be okay with it. Be ready. And then hopefully, hopefully, uh, hopefully things will change. But I don't know. The only problem is I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna happen. You know, I just and I don't want to sound black pilled or anything like that, but I mean, you know, there's a part of me that's just like, shit, dude. You know, we got a lot of fucking work to do, and very few people are on the same page. Yeah, we outnumber them. We outnumber the powers that should not be. The only problem is majority of that numbering, the numbers that we've got are fucking programmed. They're all fucking NPCs and you know and indoctrinated, and that's the problem. I think about the next generations and stuff what they're going to end up growing in. The generations that are being born now, I think about what they're going to end up growing up in and the type of childhood that they will grow up in. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. Better than we are now. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it being better than we are now in the let's say the next 50 years from now or so. In the next 50 years. I mean, quite honestly, man, there's so much going on that's happening now. I don't see the next 50 years getting better. I see it getting worse. That's my gut feeling. You know, because I'm going to tell you, man, if one state like New York will get a goddamn communist fucking Islam fucking Sharia law fuckhead into office, that kind of shit will create like almost like a wildfire. Next thing that's the problem. Because quite, I mean, honestly, I don't know. In my mind, honestly, I think just dissolve the federal government altogether and just break it down into state by state, like we were, you know, how with this country we started. You know what I mean? I think the union of the, you know, of the federal government and all that shit, you know, gaining more and more power over the rest of us, like it's the fucking ultimate thing. You know, it's like the federal government didn't exist at the beginning, and the federal government wouldn't even have wouldn't even be in existence if it wasn't for the states, and the states wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for the people in it. You know, the only thing is like it's been fucking flipped upside down. Like the federal government is the tippy top, like king of the rest of us, and that's just not how this America's supposed to be. It's been flipped upside down into this goddamn fucking bullshit, like every other fucking country around the goddamn world. You know, basically, turned into another like Europe. Where fucking England and fucking with the EU and all that shit, bringing all those countries together and stuff like that. And that's, I mean, honestly, all those fucking countries by themselves did just fine on their own. You know, and that's what they wanted to replicate that over here. That's the reason why fucking the union was even a thing over here. It's because they wanted to replicate what they did in Europe over here. Because honestly, we would be stronger if we were just individual states, or better yet, individual countries that all just kind of lived and traded amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Because quite honestly, man, I don't want New York having a communist fucking person in there being part of the United States of America. As far as I'm concerned, they can just go off and be their own goddamn country and fucking just live over there and be that all and not even be a part of America. And quite honestly, I wouldn't even give a shit if fucking, if states would just start seceding from this shit. I wouldn't even care. Honestly, I think it might be better off. In the long run, it might be better off that way. In the long run. What's up, Lady Smith? I need to go inside and grab me some cigarettes real quick. Ugh. I need to stop sitting here rambling on, man. I just feel like I say the same shit over and over and over again. I get so sick and tired of it because I feel like a broken record. So give me something to talk about other than, I don't know. Because what's on you guys' mind tonight? What's on you guys' mind? And the link is in the chat. If I know you and you want to come up on panel, just hit the link. We got a Six Oaks. What's up? Yeah, I'm all right, I guess. Things could be worse. Things could be better. Sitting out here on a full moon night, the 5th of November, next to the fire. Yeah, I woke up breathing again, you know, because I'm going to tell you, if you wake up not breathing, you're going to have one hell of a day. That's right. Remember, remember. I'm also partly celebrating Guy Fawkes's attempt. I'm celebrating his attempt. Not it's not his failure, but his attempt. Yeah, it's a beautiful moon out there. I mean, hell, you can't really see it. I mean, you see that little dot right there? That's the moon right there. Can't really see it on my camera. Yeah. And somebody was telling me, like I said earlier, it's like somebody was telling me there was supposed to be some like a meteor shower or something like that tonight, but I haven't seen nothing yet. I don't know if that was true or not. But I haven't seen anything moving around up there yet. Waiting for aliens to fly their flying saucer into my yard. Because I'm gonna tell you, if they fucking land a flying saucer out here in my yard, I'm gonna sneak into that motherfucker and take it for a spin. Remember, remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I see no reason that the gunpowder treason shall ever be forgot. La Luna. Well, you guys, I don't really have anything to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and watch the fire. Um, y'all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the night out there. Double one, double two, wing nut back out.